in. I was watching this video, and the title of it is Study Spanish Abroad, Take Classes by Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. Now, this video was published by Butterfly Spanish, which is a YouTube channel that I personally subscribe to and watch along my language learning journey. So I came across this video and I was like, oh my gosh, I just went there. Let me share my experience with my viewers. So in May of this year, just a very few short months ago, a friend and I went along with a tour group through a tourist company to Lake Atitlan in Guatemala to learn Spanish. And we stayed with a host family. So in this video, I want to speak on my experience specifically living with a host family as a woman, as a Black woman, as an American as well, because there are things that you have to adjust to. So if this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here or if you're returning, I am Devin Taylor. Welcome to the Taylor Times. I am the boss lady of the Taylor family, and on this channel I discuss things such as my journey to fluency in Spanish, homeschooling my boys, traveling, drinking coffee, it's right here, drinking coffee, and I also share a little bit about my spirituality journey. I am a Reiki Master Teacher, so you may see content on tarot or oracle cards, journaling, gratitude, all the things that I get into. So subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoy this content. Let's dive right on in. All right, so today I have 5 things that you need to know if you're going to live with a host family in Guatemala, okay? 5 things you must know. And I have notes, so be prepared. Be prepared for me to be glancing, all right? Number 1, it's hot. It's hot. The climate is hot, but it's not like sticky, hot, super humid. I went in May, end of May, so let's keep that into perspective in terms of when you're going to be traveling. In the host family home where I stayed, there was no AC. Also, there were no ceiling fans. Many of us, ladies especially, we have to be able to adjust our temperature settings within the space that we live, especially in the space that we sleep. I'm over 40. I get hot at night. So keep that in mind. It's very typical not to have air conditioner be present in a host family home. So know that. And there may not be a ceiling fan. Likely there won't be a ceiling fan, okay? It's just not likely. And there also may not even be a stationary fan that's just set up somewhere. So this means that you are going to have to be prepared for what that feels like. And also, you can purchase a fan on your own if you see one at a store as you're walking around, or you're driving, you're riding along in a tuk-tuk. That's another video. But if you see a fan, you need to get it. Or if you have some type of little mini portable travel situation you use, take it. Do yourself a favor and take it. It'll make you more comfortable in the evenings when you're getting ready for bed and you're wanting to sleep. The biggest thing for me was the no AC. That was my biggest adjustment that I had to make, because at night, being that Guatemalan homes are structured with an open living space. So when you go in, it's open to the sky. It's open to the sky. And so it's a beautiful layout. It's a beautiful setting. I really love the way that they are able to do this and accomplish this, where they have nature incorporated into their living spaces. And it was a tree, like in the foyer, what we would consider in America to be the foyer when you walk in. And this space is open to the sky. So if it rains, this area gets wet. If it's bugs flying around and it happens to be a buggy day, you're going to have bugs enter your living space. And the bedroom where you may be living at. I'm going to have a shot of what that looked like for me coming up here. And so you'll see it as I'm discussing this. So at night, I needed to keep our bedroom door open so that I could get the breeze, so I could stay cool enough to be able to sleep. But this meant that I was going to be getting eaten on by little bugs. So I would wake up with bug bites on my arms mostly. And sleeping with a lot of cover may not be a way to protect yourself. So if you have like a bug net situation that you could hook up, bring, that'll be good for you. I did sleep with bug spray on as well. It helped a little bit, but not totally. So keep that in mind, that there is no AC, and that's going to affect the way that you sleep at night. It's going to affect the way that you feel during the time that you spend within the home. But the climate is not bad overall, so it still was a very pleasant experience for me. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Number 2, you are a guest in this home, and this is not your house. This means that their life, your host family's life, is still going on. Their day-to-day activities, their day-to-day routines. Do they have children? If you're on this journey of learning Spanish abroad, you're coming alone or with a friend or a partner or spouse, whatever, you don't have kids or you're not bringing kids, think about that when you choose your host family accommodation. Some schools will get information from you as to what your needs are and what your preferences even are. So keep that in mind. There would be kids playing, and it was kids in my group too, so this is not a problem for me, but it may be for you. Kids playing, it could be after 10 p.m. and you still hear kids playing, laughing, doing what kids do. And if a part of your daily routine is at 8 o'clock, I don't want to hear children, you need to be thinking about that. Also at my host family home, and I know that this is true of other Guatemalan homes, there was a very big altar. Beautiful, beautiful altar. And early in the mornings, the mother in our family, she had friends that would come over and they would be praying and singing at the altar early in the morning. And when I say early, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So this is just things that you will have to be open to and know that these things will happen because their daily lives are still taking place as you're living there. All right. If you have a routine, a morning routine or an evening routine, expect to have to adjust that, but still make it a priority to incorporate some of the things that ground you at night or some of the things that you do that prepares you for your day, and try to incorporate that in this setting. But know that this is not going to be in a manner, the same manner that you do it at home, and that's okay. That's actually good for you, okay? Be prepared to adjust. And let's move into a category called oddities. I didn't know what else to call it. Oddities, okay? Oddities that you need to know, just little things about being in Guatemala in a host family home or anywhere that you need to be aware of. They do not flush toilet tissue. So when you use the bathroom, the tissue that you use will go into a garbage can. Excuse me. This garbage can will be near, the toilet and the facilities, so it won't be a mystery as to where to put it. But this is if you're doing number 1 or number 2, you need to put the tissue in there. So figure that out, work it out, do whatever you need to do, but know that that's going to happen. And if you forget, it's likely that it could cause the plumbing issues in the host family home. Because my group had children within our group, we had issues with the toilets clogging, sometimes because of that. Speaking of bathrooms, have you ever heard of a wet bathroom? Let me know. Comment below if you know what a wet bathroom is. Everybody is not able to adjust to this as easily as I was, because I spent time in China studying abroad when I was in grad school, so I'm familiar with the wet bathroom. The wet bathroom is when there's a shower, there's a sink, there's a toilet, it's just all out. It's all out on the tiled floor. It's a drain in the middle of the floor. When you take a shower, the toilet is getting wet, potentially. The sink is getting wet, potentially as well, depending on where they're stationed within the bathroom, the layout. But just know that this is a possibility. Every bathroom within the host family home where I stayed was not like this, but the bathroom that I preferred to use was like this. So prepare yourself for that. And as much information as you can get up front about the place where you will be living, the more comfortable you will be going into the situation, knowing that you've taken the things that you need to take to prepare yourself, right? Okay, let's move on to my next category, dietary needs. This is kind of like the fun part, because going to another country, eating their food, experiencing their cuisine is a part of like what we look forward to, right? But just some things that you need to know. Meat may not be served at every meal. Meat is, for most Guatemalan families, it's expensive, just like it is for you if you live in the United States, where I live. So it may not be a part of every single meal. The traditional Guatemalan breakfast doesn't even incorporate meat. It's not even meat in that. So if you have a problem, listen, if you have a problem with corn tortillas and beans, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you. It's not going to be impossible for you to still enjoy being in Guatemala, eating in Guatemala, but it's going to be more difficult for you living with a host family, because you're going to see tortillas, corn tortillas, and they may be purple. They're delicious. Don't get me wrong. Everything is delicious. I loved everything. I had no problems. But you will see corn tortillas. You will not see a whole lot of meat. And this is good if you're vegan or if you're vegetarian. You can do this. This is for you. This is definitely for you. So if you have those types of dietary restrictions, you have nothing to worry about. But if you need a really high protein diet, you need to bring some type of supplement with you that you can either put in your water to drink or whatever it is, maybe protein bars, because you can bring that with you, those types of things. You need to bring those types of things with you to supplement your protein needs. But obviously there's protein in beans and things like that as well. So you'll get what you need on the spectrum of the nutritional pyramid, but just know meat will be in small portions or not present at all meals. There's going to be lots of corn tortillas, lots of beans. And if you can't eat necessarily in the manner that the host family cooks, or you decide not to, let them know. Give them a heads up, because they're providing this food, they're cooking this food. You may not be the only person living in the host family home. As far as other students are concerned, they may have multiple rooms and multiple students staying with them along with their family to feed. So just say, hey, I'm not going to be eating this evening. And then you can plan your budget accordingly as well. If you're going to have to eat out more, if you know you may want to eat out more depending on what you like. Pictures of food, you've been seeing it as I've been talking. I put them in here. So you have an idea of the kind of food that I ate. All right, people, sip of coffee, all right? Go somewhere. This is one of my favorite mugs. Okay, so last category. Yep, we've covered it all. We're on number 5 now. Number 5, this is bonus, and this is going to be quick. Have some basic Spanish phrases under your belt before you get there. Culture shock is a real thing. You're going to be dealing with culture shock. You're going to be dealing potentially with jet lag, depending on where you're coming from within the world. Time difference, depending on where you're coming from within the world. So culture shock and that jet lag is going to be difficult on its own. So have a few phrases down. And Butterfly Spanish can help you with that. Anna from Butterfly Spanish can help you with that. She has tons of great videos, so go back and check that out. So you'll need some phrases that you can use that you don't have to worry about stammering through, such as the greetings of the day, buenos dias, buenas tardes, or buenas noches. What else? Hola. Okay, adiós, por favor, gracias, no hablo español, posible, no sé, and buen provecho, which is something you'll hear during meals. It's kind of like a equivalent of bon appetit a little bit, but it's like enjoy your meal, like have a good meal, and it's just something that you're going to hear at mealtime. Your host will say this more than likely, and you can use this phrase as well. I won't go into all of that because you can go to someone else, another channel that will cover those things for you, but have some basic Spanish phrases under your belt. And if you can learn your numbers, that would be great too, okay? So this is it, family, for today's video. I want to do more videos on my Guatemala experience. I was there for 9 days. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see. Let me know if you could live with the host family or if you would have to be staying in an Airbnb, okay? And I want to do videos coming up on what to pack and like must-haves. like things that you will definitely need and some real practical and useful tips. There is a way that this has to be done, especially if you are a woman, and it's some things that you need to know. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that. Don't forget to like this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you are still here, drop me a comment below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I do more videos about this experience and other things that I have coming up. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.